Hello there, my Brony and Pegasister friends. I am Ink Rose, and welcome to another Ink Rose Sketch Talk. Today I am going to be talking about animations in the fandom. So the first one I am going to be talking about is Double Rainboom. Well, see, what I'm going to be doing is I'm basically going to be talking about some of the most notable animations in the fandom, and just talking about different aspects of them and what my favorite parts of them were, what my least favorite parts of them were, and other stuff like that. So the first one I'm going to talk about is going to be Children of the Night. So I pulled up a little Luna here. Anyway, Children of the Night is literally my favorite animation in the fandom currently. Why? Because, well, I just absolutely adore basically everything about it. The story, the animation, the song, the background music, everything came together to form a really, really cool product. Especially me being an animation nut like I am, seeing the absolutely beautiful, beautiful Flash animation really just made me feel it just was absolutely amazing and stunning, and I can just feel all the effort and all the work put into it. There were so many little details in the background, and the coloring and shading were gorgeous. If there was a My Little Pony movie with the ponies themselves instead of humans like in Equestria Girls, this is the kind of style of animation that I would want it to be in, with beautiful shading, hand-painted backgrounds. I know that'd be a lot to ask, but the overall effect is just even more beautiful than the show itself, which is kind of blasphemy, but that's really what I think. I'm praising this a little too much, but it's because it's my favorite animation in the fandom. I'd say the weakest part of it is the intro at the beginning with the story, because as interesting as it was, it didn't feel strong enough. I don't really know what to say about it, but I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just the least interesting part. Like, when I watch the Children of the Night, I usually skip to the song itself. Like, if the story had been told in animation, which I know they probably couldn't do because it would have taken so much more work, it probably would have been better, but as it is, all good. There were definitely some parts where the animation felt a little stilted and awkward, but unfortunately that's kind of the side effects of only having 2 people work on the animation. 2 people. There were 2 people who worked on the visuals of this, and that was a husband and wife couple as far as I know, and the wife was working on the lighting and backgrounds while the husband did all the pony animation and stuff. So overall, it was an incredible, incredible effort from a team of only 2 people. And I have to say, yes, it definitely is my favorite animation in the whole Brony fandom. And there's probably a lot of people out there who feel the same as me. Now, regarding the story of it, it was a very well done story, I think. And it was conveyed very well within the song, kind of what was going on. And though a lot of people thought it was wrong for Luna to be kidnapping these fillies and colts, she wasn't really doing that, because a lot of these were abandoned, homeless colts living in orphanages and stuff like that. So, to be honest, there wasn't, kind of in the song, it was like, no one wants you, but it's okay? I don't know. She took the children that no one wanted and helped them to become their own people, own ponies, I guess. I don't know, that's just kind of my thoughts on it. because these kids were having terrible lives, she basically rescued them from the turmoil and hardship. So I don't really think it was kidnapping. They didn't seem to have parents. So Luna was kind of adopting them on her own, in a way. That's about it for Children of the Night. The next one I'm going to talk about is Double Rainboom. Now, Double Rainboom is definitely quite a controversial animation. And yikes. I liked it when it first came out. I was kind of all excited about, wow, this is the first animation, the first show-length animation, not counting Dusk's Dawn. We won't mention Dusk's Dawn here. And I was just so excited after I watched it. I was like, wow, that was so cool. Did you see all that awesome stuff? And look at that, there were Bubbles and Buttercup and all the Powerpuff Girls. It was really cool. I love the animation so much. But as I looked back on it, and I noticed how many people were pointing out all the flaws in it, I noticed, yeah, there's a lot of problems here, especially in the story department. The animation, well, the thing is, if Children of the Night could pull off that level of animation in 1 year, with only 2 people working on it, the animation for Double Rainboom, while still being amazing, doesn't hold up as much, because there were a lot more awkward moments in the animation. But I can forgive it because the people who did Children of the Night were professionals, while the people doing this were amateurs, so that definitely makes a difference. And you can definitely see the difference. So I'm going to give that a pass. It's just something I wanted to comment on. But I think my least favorite part of the story in Double Rainboom, as cool as the Powerpuff Girls were, come on, did they really have to be in there? It's kind of ridiculous. There was just too much randomness going on, and I didn't notice this was a problem until someone pointed it out, specifically Mr. Enter, but Rainbow Dash was out of character. She was acting stupid, and she does not act stupid in the show. She's not a stupid person. She doesn't take things that don't belong to her. She's, especially the element of loyalty, wouldn't just defy her friends and take a very experimental thing, basically steal it from her friends. That's just not what she would do. And Twilight wouldn't be that much of a jerk either. Twilight was so jerkish in this. And it really shows that these characters aren't acting like they should be. And especially since it is a fan animation, so you can kind of say, yeah, this person needs to learn about the characters a little bit more before they write with them. And all in all, there really should have been more of a quality control check when it came to this animation. There needed to be people editing the story, reviewing it, making sure everything was up to par and correct, that there weren't blatant out of character moments like there were. And there needed to be dialogue checks as well, because some of the dialogue was very bad. Getting back to the animation though, yes, the animation was quite great for a project made up of amateurs. There were, like I said before, there were definitely some awkward moments, but overall, it left an impression that, man, that animation was gorgeous. It was really great for what it was, and that kind of made Double Rainboom for me, was the animation. The story not so much, but I still have a little place in my heart for it because of that great gosh dang animation. Now, that's about it for what I have to say on Double Rainboom. Oh, wait, there's still one more thing, and that is the overabundance of references. Now, a lot of people complained about this, and I have to agree. The references were absolutely freaking distracting from the story. And to be honest, my least favorite ones were the domo in the moon and the troll face, because those took your attention front and center and said, "Look at me, I'm a reference. Laugh, mortals, laugh." And they weren't funny. There was no point for the troll face. You could have just had an explosion, you know? And there was no point for the domo on the moon. What does the domo on the moon even mean? That's not a reference. It's just domo stuck on the moon for some reason. Why is domo on the moon? I don't get it. It's not funny at all, and it doesn't make any sense, and it just takes you out of the story and makes you wonder, why the heck is domo there? What does that have to do with anything? How is that a reference that's funny in any way or shape or form? Yeah, Domo Moon, just about my least favorite reference in the whole thing, because there's no reason for it there. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And that's all I have to say on Double Rainboom. Next is Snowdrop. Okay, when I first saw this animation, just like with Double Rainboom, I was ecstatic. I thought it was adorable. It almost made me cry at the ending where Luna and Celestia are talking about how Snowdrop passed away, and it was just the saddest thing. But as I looked back on it, I did notice a few problems, especially when it comes to the fact that Snowdrop has basically no personality outside of being a sad little girl, little filly, who's always being bullied and is blind, and that's about it to her. And she likes winter. So it's just this character, that's all she's there to do is to make you feel sad. And I do like emotional manipulation sometimes because I just love feeling things for characters. But this was overplayed in such a way that it kind of was a problem. And it was nice for a short little story, but it felt like it could have had more in it. It felt like it should have had a bit more substance to it. You know, it didn't feel like much actually happened. And considering this was 15 minutes of animation, a lot more could have happened. Like, SpongeBob episodes are friggin' 11 minutes and they tell pretty decent stories. I mean, it depends on the episode. And with pretty good scale. But this felt like nothing really happened except Snowdrop was at school, she went home, she carved a snowflake, and then she presented it to the princesses. And then she died. And that's about it, really. I guess that's my biggest complaint. But besides that, it was quite cute. And it did feel pretty nice. I mean, it's something nice for the winter season, but it just felt so substanceless at points. And the animation wasn't that good. But this is Silly Philly Studios. They're, as much as I love them, the animation sometimes is kind of eh. But you can still tell that love goes into these things, and I can definitely tell that a lot of love went into Snowdrop. And it was alright. It's nice. It's a nice little sweet animation that might make you cry. And it was pretty great. Anyway, next one I'm going to talk about is, let's see, I've talked about Double Rainboom, Snowdrop, Children of Night. Next is Button Mash. Now, I really like this animation a lot. Not only is it absolutely stunning, show-accurate animation, It's funny, short, and sweet. Yeah, definitely kind of the definition of this animation is short and sweet and funny. It holds your attention, it makes you laugh, it makes you feel good, and just overall, there's nothing really much to say about it except that. I At first, I was annoyed by Button Mash's voice, but then I kind of got used to it and really related it with Button's character. It feels like it fits now. It used to not, but now it kind of does. Now that I've really seen the animation, you know. When I saw the preview of it, I was like, that's his voice? Seriously? That sounds so fake. But now that I've seen the animation, it kind of fits. Though it is a bit annoying, though I think it's supposed to be kind of annoying because he is like supposed to be an annoying little boy. But I like Button Mash's character. He's funny, he's cute. He and Sweetie Belle together are absolutely adorable. And speaking of that, Don't Mind at Night was great as well. You really can't beat the animation this guy does, except maybe Children of the Night, but even then they're kind of two different styles. So, while Jan Animations is more show style, the Children of the Night one took some liberties with shading and hand-painted backgrounds and some other things. So the animation is different, but both are absolutely amazing, and so much detail and work put into both of them. So that's about it on what I have to say about Button Mash animation. Next, and I think this is the last one I'm going to talk about, is Fall of the Crystal Empire. Once again, when I first saw this, I quite liked it, but I did feel there were quite a few missed opportunities. One of them being Celestia. Good gracious, Celestia. Once again, she is rendered useless at one point, and Luna has to save the day. I liked how they had her battle with Sombra alone while Luna was out of the picture, but Luna's solo battle was much longer and definitely felt like it made it feel like this was a Luna animation. I liked how they tied in the fact of her slowly turning into Nightmare Moon, but a lot of things felt unexplained. Like, who was it that cursed the Empire to stay under? Was it Sombra as Luna was beating him up? Or was it Luna for some reason? That's not really explained. And the writing felt kind of bad. It felt like the typical villain stereotype and the typical confident hero stereotype as they were talking. Some points of the animation definitely felt stilted. While some parts of the animation felt quite awesome, others, again, stilted, really need some refining and some work. But I still understand these guys are still figuring out everything, but I just felt like there could have been more, especially for an animation of this scale. Once again, I think the thing with Silly Philly Studios is that they make the stories they have too substanceless, too short for the story's not having enough substance to fill the time length, kind of like Double Rainboom. They need more of a story for longer animations like this, because I was kind of bored during Fall of the Crystal Empire at quite a few parts. I was wondering, come on, this shouldn't be taking this long. And there should have been more of a story to it. Either that, or have more fighting in it, because there were a lot of times when one or two of the princesses were rendered useless and all they were doing was talking with Sombra and saying, "Oh, you're gonna lose, Sombra. Oh, no, I'm not. Ha ha ha. You have evil inside of you, too. Ah, I'm not evil. You are the one who's evil. You'll become just like me someday. Just like me." And that's the end. But it was still it was still fairly enjoyable. Still had some great stuff in it when it comes to some of the fighting moves. But Silly Fiddly Studios, I love you. I love you guys. But and I can tell a lot of hard work and love goes into your work. And I say this with love as well. Just need a bit more work, but you're totally getting there, you know? You guys are awesome. I love you. And that's all I really have to say about that. That's about all I wanted to talk about when it comes to fandom animations. People wanted to know my opinions on these animations and things, and that's pretty much all I have to say about them. Here's the little Luna picture I made while I was talking. I hope you enjoy it. And I am Ink Rose. Thank you for watching, my Brony and Pegasister friends, and goodbye.